I'm bumping into the lighting.
I'm the one drinking, man. What you doing?
Well, we got through a lot of sidetracks, but
and Microsoft kind of ended abruptly. But that's
Microsoft ended abruptly. But I think what we'll do is we'll do another video in the end just to give an impression. But now comes to me, in my opinion, the best conference, the best one. The best one of the three, the big threes, the big one. I mean, we both know which one was the best one, but
yeah, no, we both know Nintendo was the best one.
Huh?
We both know Nintendo was the best one.
Yeah, it is.
Actually,
Nintendo's the best one. Nintendo's the best one. I have a 30+ minute video of how not disappointed I was with Nintendo's Nintendo conference. It was really nice. Not disappointed at all. I think I went in wanting Sony to fail because Sony, them and I, we have a love-hate relationship because Sony, they've sort of always kind of given me great games, but at the same time, like when the PlayStation 3 came out, just a lot of things that were just like completely out of whack. In my opinion, they were just completely doesn't agree with anything. Last year's outage not last year's, like last year's outage.
Yeah,
right?
last year, yeah.
It was a very bad outage. It was a testament that they pretty much said
it wasn't even the outage, it was the cause of the outage.
Yeah.
Them being hacked. Because here's the thing about Sony. Sony, there's a lot of things you don't like, and I think I know why.
Yeah.
Sony is a company, like, obviously they're all companies.
It's a big company.
It's a big company. It's an
They're not a gaming company
exactly.
like Microsoft is.
Exactly.
Microsoft has
either.
Windows.
But Nintendo...
But the thing is, Microsoft is not like as big as Sony because Sony is in your cameras.
In your television.
This thing that we're using now to record, camcorders, cameras, TVs, projectors, music players, music services. Sony is a monster. Yeah. It's a monster.
And so when Sony looks at things, it looks at things as, how can we make the most money possible right now? How can we most exploit the consumer without upsetting the consumer? And that's what they do.
Yeah,
that's their
Sony, but unfortunately, because they're such a big company, they didn't focus much on improving. But I think last year, when Jack Tretton, CEO, came out and apologized, that was like the first thing that he did. But that's the only thing I could remember because last year E3 for Sony was really lame.
I think
super lame.
He needed to apologize.
He needed to apologize. They were thinking they were actually saying, "Don't apologize.
No,
you don't have to apologize."
Here's the fact. Hey, we both work IT. When you say that we're running our servers and this comes out, we're holding your information on Apache servers. That's cool. Apache servers, fantastic, right? That are not behind a firewall and that are unpatched. People might not realize, like, if you have unpatched servers that aren't even behind a firewall, this is not a hardcore cracker that cracks this. This is somebody who's like, well, what version do they have?
I think
let me Google what version, the cracks in this version.
Yeah.
And now it is broken to Sony servers because they didn't patch it. They're the most up-to-date patch. You don't even have to break it. You Google how other people have broken it in the past.
But in spite the harp, because it is stuff that happened years ago, we're trying to stay on topic. Last year was not so impressive. Yeah. Even with the Vita announcement, the release of that horrendous name. But it's grown to me.
Wii U. Could be worse. Could be Wii U.
Are you saying
the name could be Wii U?
The Wii U. That name is awesome.
No.
From that incredible conference that they told us everything we needed to know about the Wii U. Everything. So but anyway, for this year, the conference, just, I think overall, in my opinion, did everything. Did everything right. They talked about games. They didn't talk much about the Vita. But they did say that they had a lot of Vita stuff on the floor.
Yeah.
But they stuck on topic, and the main thing that they did was like we said earlier in the Microsoft one, this thing is not really for gamers. It is for gamers, it's for the fans. We all watch. That's why they offer it for everybody to watch. But the show itself, there's a reason why we're not there. because it's more for the press. So, but the press, they're gamers too.
Some of them.
Some of them. Some of them are not gamers. They're just like tech blog followers.
Yeah.
Maybe CNET or a few others, but some of them are, and some of them are the ones that are going to post articles that are going to determine how big the hype is. And Sony, they delivered. I mean, I got a couple of notes here. This is a game that he likes. Beyond.
Oh
Two Souls, Quantic Dream,
I'm
David
so
Cage,
excited
Beyond.
about that game.
You cannot.
Hey,
I didn't know. It was like, what's Beyond? And then, but it was like,
let me tell you what's missing in gaming.
Helen Page.
Originality.
Yeah.
Originality is missing in gaming. And this is not a surprise. It's very difficult to do original things.
Yeah.
Very, very difficult.
There was a lot of sequels from Microsoft. And that's that's one thing we didn't mention.
Yeah.
There were too many sequels.
Yeah.
But getting back to originality.
We have, a million years of humanity. Okay, we have 100,000 years more or less of civilization. Whatever story you can come up with, it's been done. I guarantee you, it's been done. I don't care if you think it's original.
It's only so much that you could do, really.
But so when you have a game that comes up with something that hasn't been seen yet, it's exciting. And so, I think the big thing is the idea that a character is growing up with you.
Yeah.
Like from a child into an adult.
Yeah.
That is actually really exciting.
It's really awesome.
And you can see how this person, comes to
what's her
mature.
Name? What was her name? Jodie Summers.
It could be.
Jodie Summers. But anyway, it's Helen Page.
With psychic powers.
With psychic powers. And apparently he's got this imaginary soul.
And I don't think it's imaginary because it's blowing the hell out of things.
It's this thing called Ivan, but...
And that's like the exciting reveal at the very end, because the whole thing is like, you see this crazy stuff happening, you don't know what's going on, but at the end of the whole thing, before they leave, she says, "Come on, Ivan, let's go. I think they got the message." So now you're like, Who's Ivan?
Who's Ivan?
What's going on here?
I mean, I found it really cool that they took Helen Page, her likeness, they took her motion. Her motion. Just her doing the motion capture.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's her. When
correct.
you see Beyond Two Souls, it's not some other character. It's really Helen Page doing the motion, because that's what the type of person that David Cage is. When David Cage, he's an expert at giving motion capture.
Yeah, you don't pay that type of money for a high quality actress and then not use them to the full extent.
No, just voiceover. You got her doing the motion,
exactly.
The line reads with the dots all over her face. Yep. The motion from the cop. I mean, it blew me away. I thought it was like, we spoke about Lara Croft looking like a real person. These are real people.
Yeah.
And coded people. I mean, like, this is how far we've come.
And Lara Croft is still gorgeous.
Dream.
Lara Croft is still gorgeous.
Yeah, definitely.
But she looks more realistic. This looks like a woman you can meet in the street. Like, this reminds me of like Alex Vance. Where it's like, Alex Vance doesn't look like some video game Hulu girl, whatever. Alex Vance is like a girl you can meet down the street, you know? Like, this girl looks real. Or like the heroine from Silent Hill 3. It looks like a person.
Heather.
Yeah, Heather from Silent Hill 3. She's not like this super, ultra, God mode
She's not
woman.
A soldier.
It's a real
She's
girl.
a real person.
It looks like real people. But that's important, I think.
Yeah. I definitely... I'm looking forward to, especially since I am not one of the haters of Heavy Rain. A lot of people, I've kind of like, this isn't a game. So, it isn't a game, but look at that. See that, bitches? That's a game in the package. Here, eat it, bitches. But the thing is that Heavy Rain is they could call it an interactive movie or an interactive game or a...
What is a game? A game is an interactive story.
And a game is you control an in-game character to achieve a goal, and at the end you achieve this goal. Now there are rules of play in this game.
Correct.
So, yes, it's a game, because it feels more like a movie. It does not mean... I mean, like, if that were the case, then Metal Gear Solid, every other Metal Gear Solid game would not be a game. there'd be movies with a
Final Fantasy starting 7.
Final Fantasy would be a movie.
Movies, yeah.
Whatever. But anyway, we both really like Beyond Two Souls. I don't know if you're interested in the All-Stars Battle Royale game.
Okay, I want to talk about it for a moment here.
Because
what is up with Super Smash Brothers Sony? What is up with Super Smash Brothers Sony?
I really didn't. When I first heard about Super Smash Brothers Sony, it was like they took Super Smash Brothers and made it into like with Sony characters. See, this is the reason why.
The only difference.
This is the part of the love-hate relationship I have with Sony. Sony could be so creative, like Beyond.
Yes.
Beyond is a game that, like Victor said, it's originality all over. Then immediately after Beyond goes into a complete
Super Smash Brothers clone.
100% copy, like ripped from the Wii.
The only difference is how you get your kills.
Yeah,
in Super Smash Brothers, you have
to basically like get the
you attack
accumulate
them.
damage,
yes,
and the more damage
them,
that you do,
a special bar.
The accumulation of damage determines how far you can eliminate your opponent.
Well, once you build your special bar, you can use your special, and only your special can kill the opponent.
In this game, you can only kill your opponent by building up. Like it's
Your
sort of like
bar.
a hypermeter,
Yeah.
like you're in a fighting game. You build up a hypermeter, and with that you can do special moves.
Yes,
and it
3
can
levels
get up
of which.
3 levels.
Which might have made, as long as we're talking about unoriginal, what fighting game doesn't use 3 levels? It's every fighting game anyway. Like they can't even pick an original number.
I'm not a complainer with.
I'm a complainer.
I'm not a complainer with the levels, hypermeters. I mean, as long as they can have them, not have them, and they'll still work. But in reality, it's just like when I saw the game, it looked a little more interesting than when I first heard of it, but not by much.
It's
a clone.
They even
It's
have
a
like
clone.
the attacks from the background and the foreground.
Attacks.
Even
Interactive
the visuals.
backgrounds.
The visuals look the same.
The
Even like
visuals
style.
look the same. The attacks look the same.
Obviously, it's Sony. It's a 1080p system. I mean, I'm part of the PC, elite master race of gamers. But so I'm not going to talk about PS3 has such great graphics. I mean, obviously the graphics are better than the Wii.
The graphics are definitely better than the Wii.
Stylistically,
the
it looks the same. Stylistically, even the style. It's like the same style, but slightly better graphics in the same style.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks.
You're not
exactly
getting anything
the same.
different. You're getting characters, but you don't nearly care as much about them.
Yeah.
Like you've grown. That's one thing Nintendo does well. Characters. I mean, you feel excited when you're playing as Samus, as Mario, as Link, as Kirby. Even if they're not
characters, like okay,
Mark,
when was the last time an Ice Climbers game came out? But you
one
play
game.
Ice Climbers, you're like,
one game.
Oh snap! I remember Ice Climbers when I was like freaking 7 years old, and now you're happy. You're like playing Ice Climbers.
That's my favorite. Like my characters is Ice Climbers. I love punishing people. Been hit once, it actually hits twice, but who's in this game in Super Smash Brothers Sony? Nathan Drake.
I'm not gonna lie.
Nathan Drake.
I'm excited about playing as Parappa
the Rapper.
And Big Daddies.
The Big Daddies. I like that.
Which is not actually a Sony thing, of course. But
that's another thing.
But no, but that's fine. I mean, Nintendo had Snake and Sonic in the most recent Smash Brothers.
but that was later.
But you're right. That's 3 games in.
They established it later.
First one,
they're only guest cameos. The only reason that you're supposed to feel as though, you're playing characters that you grew up watching with Sony. Where's Crash Bandicoot? Where is he? Where's Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah. Well,
Where is?
They haven't announced the entire lineup.
They haven't announced the entire lineup, so Crash may come out. Where's Jack and Daxter? But
I will be seriously surprised if Jack does not show up.
If Jack and Daxter do not show up,
I almost guarantee you he'll show up.
They're gonna show up.
I can almost guarantee
they
that.
Better show up. But the Big Daddies, who do we get? Fat Princess. That's a bitch pulled out of some indie game's ass, and there's like, oh, this is the Fat Princess from the indie game Fat Princess.
Fat Princess was cool though.
It was, but
I don't know about it as a character in a fighting game.
This epic enough to let me wake my computer. The computer.
I'm sure it's fine.
You're.
You can unlock it, man.
Okay.
It's Calico, Calico. For everyone to know. For everyone to know. That's the password on the computer.
Okay.
I don't even care.
CALICO.
Yep.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, but yeah. Yeah, Nathan Drake. Yeah, okay. But either way, it's still a copy, a blank. It's like a plagiarism, almost.
Basically.
It's like, and that's why I often feel frustrated with Sony. They're just not they're more like a follower company. They'll wait till they see things that every other ones do, Nintendo, and then they'll do their own thing, and then they'll say, "Oh, we've got the best games in the industry." Yeah. They even dared say that we've got the best indie games in the industry.
Oh, Steam.
The best indie games.
I guess they don't count PC as part of the market, stupidly.
If nobody... I think everyone who doesn't know about Fat Princess or is into gaming, they're not going to know who half the roster is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's only just because these characters that Sony has, they're basically the same almost.
Yeah. Well, they're only known by that group. Yeah. Like you throw a Nintendo character out there, people know. It doesn't
Everybody
matter.
knows who Mario is.
Yeah, they can't game and you know Mario, you know Link.
If you don't know who Mario...
Even if you call him Metroid and say it's a him, you know who Samus is. Yeah, people know these characters.
Because they're iconic. They're more important.
They've standed the test of time.
But these characters, I mean, it's whack. The gameplay is alright, but it's a Super Smash Brothers clone.
For that, just wait for Super Smash Brothers to come out on the Wii U.
Which I hope it... Well, of course, we definitely got some of that discussed this year. It was mentioned last year as a just recently announced... It's funny because the team didn't even know that there was going to be a Smash Brothers game until that day, and they were still working on Kid Icarus Uprising, and I'm like, so wait, what? What? We just found out there's a Super Smash Brothers. Now we're doing another one? Okay. You didn't get the memo.
For 3DS and the Wii U.
And both of them.
Get on it.
Which we knew a lot about this year because they followed it up really nice. Really nice. There were a few other games. Assassin's Creed, but he doesn't like Assassin's Creed. He doesn't like... He hated the first game, and he hasn't given the others a chance.
I would bust it out like Heavy Rain, but I actually gave it away. I hate it so much. I gave Assassin's Creed 1 away.
You rip on this, and it's got one entry. Assassin's Creed's in its 5th entry, and everyone's like the best game in the world. I did like the ship demo.
Yeah,
you gotta be excited about.
It was
the
cool
ship.
looking. It was cool looking. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and hate like everyone should hate it. Assassin's Creed fans are gonna be excited.
The first Assassin's Creed was hard to.
Was horrible.
I think you should get into just cover the story, and just start with 2.
Watch something on YouTube that goes over the story real quick,
and then start on 2. And then I think you'll get into it again. Because I got all the Assassin's Creeds on my PC. I love Assassin's Creed 2. And I liked Brotherhood. I have not beaten Brotherhood, but I also got to play Revelations because I want to know how the story goes. The story is engaging, so I hope it keeps on it, you know.
Actually, and I will say that, I beat Assassin's Creed 1 despite hating it because the story is actually that good.
I love Abstergo and the concept of the Templars. That was really cool. Do you like reading?
Gee,
I just learned today that he has his own private library. How would you like to see the things from your books pop out on your screen?
Let me talk about this PlayStation book thing.
Yeah, Wonder Book.
Wonder Book.
Wonder Book.
Okay. Yeah. When I first heard about it, when they were first going over it, before they actually showed the
demo that didn't work.
Thing.
Oh god, that demo.
I was so excited. I called my wife from the other room to come look because how excited I was about this.
Jack and the Beanstalk coming back to life. That's
because when they were describing it sounded like you would have books and you'd be able to read your books. Then on the TV is what it sounded like. You'd be able to see the things from your book come to life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounded like. A book that you can see visually come to life.
I was like, the first thing I thought was like augmented reality. That was the first thing that came up. Was like, this is augmented reality.
Exactly.
That's
really
really cool.
So hyped.
It's really cool.
What they showed was a goddamn... It was a catastrophe. It was... We're going to show...
It's got potential.
We're going to show something where it's like 50%... No. 50%, yeah, 50% game.
Yeah. Well, it's
40%. No, 30% game. 60%.
I'm losing you, Victor.
Like,
I'm losing you with the numbers, Victor.
It's like 30% game, 60% like movie,
80% fluff,
and 10% book. Okay,
and 1% of Jack.
Let me show you something.
Where's the beanstalk?
This is a book. This is the book I'm reading right now. That's House of Leaves. By Mark something or another. Everyone should read it.
Mark something or another. Mark Z. Daniel Lou something or another.
This book taught me things that I didn't even know I wanted from a horror book. It has words. Okay.
What we're using in written form.
Words.
Put together.
You want to know what the Wonder
They're
Book...
They're a sentence.
You want to know what the Wonder Book didn't have?
Words. They had nothing.
I wanted to see a book that came to life. Instead what I got was Harry Potter, and I have the Harry Potter books. I love Harry Potter. It's not hating Harry Potter. But what I got was Harry Potter, where people were waving the PlayStation wand around, pretending to do magic spells that didn't freaking work, to zap little dragons that came up on the TV screen.
It's a demo.
But it was a demo showing off
we won't hate on them,
potential.
But it has potential because I saw it as, this is for kids. This is for kids that want, like, because nowadays it's like, I was telling, I'm in like my late 20s, and I'm just now reading The Hunger Games, and I'm just trying to get into reading. This kid's got this boy has got this kid, this man has a library full of comic books of old literature, new literature. I mean, it's like they love reading, and I'm like, God, what do I got to do to get into reading? But this is a good way to get into reading.
But I don't think so. Here's my problem. Okay, you talk about it's meant for kids.
No. It's not that it's meant for kids. I just I think I see the potential for kids to get into reading.
I saw the same thing. But here's my problem is that this is not actually getting kids into reading. Getting kids into reading is like what I was talking about. Where let's say you have Where the Wild Things Are, and then the things come up on the screen and you see yourself instead of the child there, right? This was like, well, it's a little BS, poorly put together video game integrated with a little
augmented
picture book thing with like one sentence per page. And all the sentence actually does is tell you what to do. And the sentence is spoken to you by the TV screen, so you don't even have to read it.
No. It's sort of like, it's got potential, but it's kind of poorly fleshed out, so...
It was poorly shown off.
I think it can be done well, but
it was poorly shown off.
Yeah. Let me cut the video here because it's gonna shut off on me, so
cut now.
We're back.
A dinosaur
We're
story.
back.
Dinosaur story.
Huh?
We're back at Dinosaur Story.
Dinosaur Story?
That's a movie. We're back at Dinosaur Story.
We're back at Dinosaur Story?
Get your kids to watch it. Look it up.
Dinosaur Story.
We're back at Dinosaur Story. Get your kids to watch it.
What is that?
It's a movie, man.
I'm trying to remember.
It's an animated movie where dinosaurs come back and go to New York and they walk through the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Oh, we're back?
A Dinosaur Story.
We're back? That movie? Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Whenever someone says we're back, the first thing that comes to my mind is a Dinosaur Story.
I was like, we're back at Dinosaurs. Like, what? Now I remember.
We're back, a Dinosaur Story.
Yeah. That movie was really freaky.
I don't actually really remember much about it. Just the name sticks in my mind. Whenever someone says we're back, like a Dinosaur Story.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur movie, and it's got talking people. It's just the dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs talk.
to talking dinosaurs because they were taken by space aliens from the prehistoric time.
You remember more than I do.
By this guy that apparently has the ability to grant wishes. The reason that they end up in the city is because kids wished for dinosaurs.
You remember so much more than I do.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
the one that brought it up, and you remember like the whole plot.
Because I didn't know what you meant was like a dinosaur story. It was like dinosaur story. But anyway,
I'll segue that into Sony.
Vita didn't show many games, but they did announce that the PSN classics were going in.
That's cool.
I did like that Super Smash Brothers Sony. Half of the people that were playing were playing with Vita.
Yeah,
it's cross-play.
That was very cool.
So, yeah, they plagiarized Super Smash Brothers, but at least we know that it's coming for the Vita. So,
and you can challenge between platforms.
That's pretty cool. That's something that we've always kind of wanted with games that were both on PC and on consoles. Maybe there was some way they could cross-play, but everybody's so lazy they won't do it.
Actually,
they could do it.
Let me tell you, this is actually a true story. All right, I'm gonna get everyone to hate me right now.
Yeah,
you're gonna get mass anger on your.
If you don't hate Victor yet for hating Assassin's Creed,
you're gonna hate me in a moment.
You're gonna hate him now.
You're gonna hate me in a moment. Microsoft was working on a cross-play solution. They were working on a cross-play idea.
Cross-play with what? With
Between
PC?
Windows PC and Microsoft Xbox 360.
Okay.
They scrapped it.
Okay.
Because the best Halo players in the world could not beat average Halo players using keyboards and mice.
Yeah.
It's
the
factual.
people who play now Modern Warfare games, Call of Duty games,
so frustrated.
When you put them in a chair with a keyboard and a mouse, they will be able to do half the stuff that they would do.
They can't. But to be fair, they're not used to doing it with the keyboard and mouse. The point is that using a controller, they could not outplay the best. Could not outplay average players.
Average players
with keyboards and mice because I know I was joking about the master PC gaming rates, but the precision with a mouse is so superior.
It is,
and even your average, like I don't consider myself like a pro player. I'm an average player. I play at 3600 DPI. That's not that high of a DPI, but that's much higher than most people use with their personal home mice, right? The precision I get is ridiculous compared to a joystick. You can't aim anything with a joystick.
You can't adjust.
I touch it like this, and my guy goes all the way over here,
The sensitivity, if you put it like a little high, it goes way too high.
Seriously,
on
my
PC,
mouse pad,
there's actually much more control.
On 3600 DPI, I use about this much of my mouse pad, and I can cover my 24-inch 1920 by 1080 screen completely, very quickly on this much of my mouse pad.
So you don't have to move it too much at all. But
it's pure sensitivity. You just can't aim the way you can with a mouse with a joystick. So they scrapped it because of that.
The lesson for today, kiddies, is if you really want to be a good gamer, go
play
PC. PC. Because you're not going to beat an average player if you're an expert playing Black Ops on your Xbox or your PS3. You're not going to beat me on PC.
Yeah.
And I suck in the console version.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat me. I'm sorry. I've been playing far too long PC
I've
games.
I've got friends that play Call of Duty on PC hardcore. I have a friend actually that plays... He has a 5800 DPI mouse. He plays a sniper on Call of Duty, and he plays that game hardcore. Let me tell you, he can pull his sniper scope up, pop you in the head, and put his sniper scope down in like a fraction of a second. And there's no auto aim. It's pure up, quick movement, pop down, and you don't know what hit you. There's no chance. I mean, you can't have that kind of aim with a joystick. It's not sensitive enough.
But back to what we were saying is like it's pretty cool that they have cross-play. So because the Vita doesn't, I still don't see the point of owning one yet. Still, not enough games. Maybe someday. But after they spoke a little bit about PlayStation Suite, not like the business side of stuff that we don't care about, the stuff that the media wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Then God of War Ascension came, and God of War Ascension is probably the best looking God of War game, but it's a God of War game pretty much like paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Like Kratos is pissed. He's gonna kill monsters.
Yeah.
He's gonna be able to execute them through quick time events.
Here's the end. God of War is like, it's like I was saying with Halo.
I love God of War.
I do too.
I love God of War.
God of War fans are gonna be happy about this, just like Halo fans be happy with Halo 4, etc., etc.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm a God of War fan, but I know this is for the God of War fans specifically.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is, if I understand correctly, this is a prequel.
It's a origin story.
Yes, before Kratos gained his god powers.
Yeah.
So they're gonna try to one up all of the action scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
While Kratos is a mere mortal. So it's gonna be interesting seeing how they decide to balance between trying to have really, really cool kill scenes
the
while
demo
keeping Kratos as a mortal.
Well, the demo they showed Kratos already as Kratos.
Yeah.
As
he had the white skin.
The Ghost of Sparta.
Yes.
But it is going to be interesting. Like, well, we know this is when he becomes him.
Yeah.
Eventually. So how much of the origin story we're going to get?
As human Kratos.
As human Kratos.
Or are we going to get any at all?
Anything before?
As human.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's going to be an
I think it would
origin.
actually be a really, really cool idea, but unfortunately, this is. I was
Sony.
I was going to say this is not a slight of Sony, but this is a slight of Sony. I don't think Sony's innovative enough to come up with it.
No.
But I think it would be a really cool idea for like a God of War game where Kratos, before he turned to Ghost of Sparta at all, that had a completely different play style. Like, Kratos is obviously immortal, and he's very mortal, and you have to play and think differently because you can't go out there like, I will murder everything with my blade chains and stuff like that. Like, I think it would be interesting to see what they could do with that. They could do a lot of cool stuff.
They could do. I mean, the graphics look much better than the God of War 3.
I think that
they definitely step it up, but that's usually how it is with a new console. They usually start up just testing the waters of how it is, and I think they're pushing it pretty hard.
They don't know how to program it properly yet.
But now they do.
I think that they're starting to push the Xbox 360 and the PS3 to their graphical limits. Yeah. They've learned a lot
ironically, at the end of their life cycle, because I'm probably sure that by next year we're going to know the official names for the next 2 consoles for both.
We'll see.
Maybe they said that they weren't going to announce like in next year either.
Here's my thing.
Knows,
I have 2 things in this. Yeah. One makes you think it's probably coming soon, and one thing makes you think it's not. The one that makes you think it's coming soon is that Square Enix had their in-game, although it wasn't actually a game, but it was graphics to be done in-game, preview of their new engine. And their new engine uses DirectX 11 software. Right. DirectX 11 software is not capable, the current generation of consoles is not capable of doing it. The current generation of consoles run on DirectX 9 software. 9. Now, for people who aren't PC
so
gamers,
they're like
this
2
is a
DirectX's behind the current one that's up now.
PC generations move very quickly.
It's much quicker.
And so basically, the current generation of consoles is 2 generations behind the current generation of PC.
So they can't do too much. They're impressive enough that they're doing what they're doing now.
And because they learned very cool tricks with the hardware.
Exactly.
With the programming for it. Because a game console hardware is built just for playing games.
Most of the games are 720p for that reason, I think. Because they can't push the graphics too
PC hardware is built for a lot of things. So when people are writing code for game consoles, there's a lot of shortcuts you can take that you can't take on a PC. Yeah. Now, when that makes you think that there might be something coming close, because why would Sony build this? There are only 2 possible reasons.
Testing it.
They expect the new console to come out sometime relatively soon, or 2, they want to start putting games out for PC, which actually kind of excites me if that's a possibility.
Sony doing PC games,
or no, Square Enix. Square
Enix would do a PC game. That would be really awesome.
Now, the thing that makes me think that this is not coming though is that the fact of the matter is that in terms of pure polygonal count, it's upgraded, but you can't see the upgrade as much as you would think for a new generation console to be legitimately thought of. Like, I think the main thing that DirectX 10 and then 11 even more so have pushed out, it's effects. Yeah. Lighting effects, smoke effects, water effects, things like that.
Which look pretty good. Again,
amazing
on God of War.
But if you play a console game, right? Yeah. And you get close to smoke, because it's DirectX 9 graphics, you start seeing the pixelation, the smoke, and you don't get the
not like now. Not like now.
You turn on Battlefield 3 on your PC,
it's
and the
particle
smoke comes
effects
out,
on that is just
It's like
crazy. It's like
you're blinded.
Small.
It's
really
insane.
Nice.
It's insane.
Really nice.
And then
you get blown away for how real it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that they're willing to do that yet because I think that most people look at the polygon count, and that's the first obvious thing for graphics.
Again,
polygon and texture.
It probably goes back to Sony being a company that they're not too focused mainly on doing games, but I think that's where they want to do now. They want to focus more on getting games that, push themselves a little
I think
more.
it might be another 2 years before we see a new Sony console.
Like The Last of Us. That's the last game that they spoke of on Naughty Dog and The Last of Us.
Which looks amazing.
But freaking believable. You didn't think, the Uncharted games and Naughty Dog. All of a sudden, it's like, now The Last of Us.
Okay.
I mean, like, what?
Remember Laura Croft? We were talking about Visceral?
Yeah.
Talk about Visceral.
Woo!
That game is like...
That game is realistically visceral.
Throwing people around, taking their gun and popping
choking
them
and not putting them to sleep, like literally choking them out.
Yeah,
and it's a very gritty survival game. I don't know if it's like post-apocalyptic. It feels like it's a post-apocalyptic.
It's post-apocalyptic.
But I don't know what the deal is with the mercs.
The thing, there's supposed to be. This is the base of the story. I know. There's some sort of like viral, bacterial, whatever zombie thing that made like it's a fungus. Yeah. And it made like there's like fungus zombies. They have like weird
fungus
growths and contusions from their heads.
It's not like the Super Mario Brothers fungus.
Kind of. I mean, it doesn't make you grow giant, but it makes you grow contusions.
It's the fungus. It's got bombs.
And so you have to
grows bombs.
Yeah. And so the future's like you have to deal with the people. That are grown off surviving.
Okay.
They will kill and murder to survive because that's all they've ever known.
Okay.
And you have to deal with the monster zombie things that have been affected by the fungi while protecting this little girl.
Okay.
It's amazing.
So I'm like, this is like a dad, the kid.
I don't know if it's a dad or not. I didn't catch that.
Could be. But
could be.
We don't know anything of his story past what Victor already said.
That's the only thing I've heard of it so far.
So, but they ended that with a bang, and I think that's probably why.
Naughty Dog.
Huh?
It's Naughty Dog.
Yeah, it's Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
It's a great developer.
Crash Bandicoot. I never was too big into Crash, but hell, that's the closest Sony came to having a character like that should be in Super Smash Bros. Sony, but it's not yet. So
it probably will be. Almost
it's like I wouldn't imagine Sony doing like what Capcom did and just cut out Mega Man completely just because their main guy left the company.
Don't tell me that. I make Casey cry every time I think about Mega Man.
But that's a completely different rant that will not have anything to do with what we're supposed to be talking about now.
So remember earlier we were talking about survivor horror?
Yeah.
Okay, what about...
This one is survival.
This
survival,
is
period.
What about your... You see your
literal
ammo count?
Survival.
Did you see your ammo count? You had like...
4 bullets.
Yeah.
4 bullets.
And
you kill somebody, you pick only 2 more bullets.
Yeah, like whatever bullets you had in this gun, that was it.
Click. Oh, I know that sound.
Exactly.
You're fucked.
Exactly. That guy comes with a shotgun,
and then
you have
it's
to
like...
take his shotgun.
Yeah. You really gotta survive. You gotta pick up what's around you. You're not gonna be Leon S. Kennedy, who's got like a godly amounts of ammo.
Yes, exactly.
You're gonna be this normal guy in a really big, scary situation. You got this girl that's helping you,
but you also have to protect her
her.
Like, I think the majority of the time he was protecting her. Then there was that one scene where she jumps in the guy's back.
Hey!
Yeah.
Boom!
Oh my God,
and everybody freaked when the kid threw that brick or whatever that was to the guy's face. It was like, bang! Into the wall.
The hell out of that little girl. That was amazing
Fuck
looking.
Me.
That's survival game.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that game looks amazing. And I'm really excited for it.
So Sony, final impressions will come later, but Sony had a really good show.
I liked it. I think... I want to say one more thing. Like, Xbox is talking about how their main goal was to sell the multimedia thing. Yeah. Sony's thing was to sell first-party games. Yeah. They wanted to sell you on first-party games. And I think they did a good job.
Have more studios working on first-party games. I think the most any other company.
And they busted out with God of War Ascension.
God of War.
They busted out with the Last of Us and Beyond. And yes, Microsoft also busted out with the Halo 4 and the Gears of War 4, but Microsoft, they showed 3 games. Only one of them was what you expected. Well, I mean, I guess The Last of Us, you knew about it ahead of time, but The Last of Us is a survival game, and
we only knew so much of it, but we didn't see much of it. But we saw more of it.
And we haven't seen a survival game like that for a while.
No.
We've mainly been seeing like the Resident Evil style survival action games. Yeah. And then they had Beyond, which is like way out of left field.
Completely beyond left field. Beyond is beyond.
Exactly. I think they did a good job doing what
Beyond is beyond. So, yeah. But the impressions will come later because now we're going to do another run. I'm going to cut the video here and empty it out because the next one is gonna make me kind of upset.
And guess what? You're going to see probably a lot of back and forth because I, no joke, like Nintendo's the most.
I love Nintendo. They got me into playing video games.
But I like their press conference the most this year, actually. Did.
He likes the...
I did.
I'm going to cut this now because this is I got to hold on. Hold on a second. Dude, this is